Hey guys, this is Statton. Welcome to another Heart to Heart with Statton. Today I would like to talk about self worth. Now, the fact of the matter is, this is one of the hardest subjects for people to talk about, and self worth is actually one of the hardest things for people to recognize for multiple reasons. For one thing, there's many people out there that feel like they are worthless and that they aren't good for anyone or anything. And then you got those who are trying to embrace humility, which there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being humble, but even that can be taken to the extreme, which is not good. There is there's a difference between not being arrogant and being self-destructive. You can be confident, you can recognize your self-worth and not be arrogant. It doesn't have to be one or the other. That's another challenge right there, is recognizing where that happy medium is. Also, we tend to focus and worry about what other people think of us, how they see us. And for that reason, especially for the younger crowd, it is very easy to want to embrace the things that are popular in life, even if what we are embracing may not be necessarily things we want, things that we have a passion for. I know that there's a lot of people that tend to do that. They tend to lose their own identity, their individual personality that makes them who they are, and they do this because they're afraid of what the majority of the world will think of them. For this reason, they tend to not have a mind of their own. That's not to say that they can't. When I say people don't, there are people out there that don't have a mind of their own. I'm not saying they are not capable of having a mind of their own. They most certainly are. Every single person is. But they hold themselves back from having a mind of their own because they base their thinking off of what they feel the rest of the world thinks. And that isn't right. There's an old saying called that this old saying is what is popular isn't always right and what is right isn't always popular. I may have said that in the wrong order, but either way, no matter what order you say that in, the message comes out the same. And that is, you can't always base everything on popularity. And for that reason, you do not need to be a popular person to have a lot of worth in this world. And you don't need to be popular to be loved. That's something to this very day I'm still learning myself. These subjects I cover over. I don't mean, if I sound like I'm an expert on these things, I don't mean to. I share these subjects because they are subjects that I myself am going through or have gone through. These are things that I have either learned or am currently learning. And that I may have said this before. I don't remember if I have, but I don't believe there'll ever be a time where I will stop learning. And shame on me if there ever comes a time where I feel like I don't need to learn anything else. But the fact of the matter is, we often worry about losing the people that we love and care about. We make friends and we worry about losing them. We worry that even our family members will think less of us on some things. That we'll reach a point where your friends and your family will up and leave you, or they will abandon you, or they'll stop loving you because you just don't feel like you're worthy or meant to be loved or cared about. I'm telling you right now, none of these things are true. For those of you out there that feel this way, you are meant to be loved, and you are loved. You may not recognize it at this point in time, and it may be a long while before you do recognize it. But you may find, even when you have arguments with people and disagreements, or it just seems like the people you're with, you're just struggling with them, you may find that they do love you, that they do care about you. They may not always agree with everything you do or everything you say, but that doesn't mean they're looking down on you. And it certainly doesn't mean that they don't love you. So understand this, that you are in fact loved. You are in fact cared about. And your self-worth is far more than what you see it to be. And sometimes it takes an outside perspective to be able to recognize your self-worth. And there's other things you can also do to help you on your way to being able to feel good about yourself. Now, bear in mind, I said feel good about yourself. This takes me back to the beginning of what I mentioned. You don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be full of yourself to feel good about yourself. There is a difference. You can feel good about yourself. You can feel happy, and it doesn't mean you're full of yourself at all. And there's sometimes we find ourselves in situations also where we just feel so bogged down with stress and anger. And it seems like no matter what, when we try to calm ourselves, we just find ourselves to be frustrated with ease. Like the flip of a light switch doesn't take much at all. At the drop of a hat, you're frustrated. At the drop of a hat, you're angry. There are things you can do that would help you cope with that. Things that I have just recently started doing, and I feel better for it. I've actually given up caffeinated beverages and started drinking water, and I'm starting a diet where I've been eating better as well, and I've even been working out. These things have it's been a rough start because with the caffeinated beverages, I've been going through withdrawal, feeling the headaches, feeling tired, and boy, the temptation to just say, well, just one can of Mountain Dew, but I know if I give in, I'll give in completely, and I'll find that I'm just drinking it continuously. You see, I used to drink a lot of pop just to stay awake, including energy drinks. But I've put a stop to all of that. And it's been a few weeks already. But now I'm finally through the withdrawal. I'm starting to feel awake without the caffeine. And during my breaks, even at work, I will retreat into the locker room in private where I can just do a little workout, a few sit-ups, a few push-ups. Instead of just sitting at the table, I'll do these things, and I feel great. I feel better as a result. And I've heard people mention this before. But even though I've heard people say this, it wasn't until I started to experience it for myself that I started to understand what they truly mean. I've heard people say, hey, if you take care of yourself to where you feel better physically, you're going to feel better mentally and emotionally as well. And you know what? They're correct. I mentioned before in a previous video, a video titled Struggles, A Heart to Heart with Statton. In that video, I mentioned how I can be happy one moment and down and feeling depressed the next moment, and there doesn't seem to be any reason for it. It just happens. I actually feel like I'm emotionally stable, or becoming more emotionally stable over time. And today, I've actually felt happy and upbeat throughout the whole day and night. And I say night right now because it's currently 1:42 a.m. as I'm recording this. I know I'm up late. I didn't think I would be able to do this video right now because at the time I started recording this, I felt so tired because of how late it is. I felt so tired I could hardly keep my eyes open, so I was afraid I would sound all draggy and everything. But it seems like the more I'm talking about this, the more energetic I'm feeling. The point of all of this is there are things you can do. Pursue, as I've mentioned before, pursue your passions, but while you do that, do things that you don't normally do. If you're feeling down about yourself, and if you're feeling like the things you're doing just isn't working, do something different. Try new things. Become more active. This really does help. Now, and I've mentioned this to some friends before, even if it means trying out things that you never thought you would have an interest in, try them anyways. You've got nothing to lose, and you may find that what you thought you wouldn't be interested in, you will be interested in. I mentioned to you all before, revealing a secret that that I've kept up until about a month or two ago, and that was one of the things I love doing. Actually, I think I revealed this more than a few months ago, but that's beside the point. I revealed that I like to ballroom dance, and I've done it since high school. But here's the thing, when I started doing it, I didn't do it because I didn't start doing it because I had a desire to, because I most certainly didn't. I did it because a friend of mine talked me into it. They suggested I should try it, and I'm like, alright, but I don't think I'll be into it. I'm not really interested in trying it. Well, I tried it, and I liked it. In fact, I loved it, and still do. So with that said, try it. It'll be worth it. Anyways, this is the video for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. My name is Statton. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you are not alone.